service, they have the best service, terrific safety record, and they make you laugh on the plane. And they use roomy jets compared to these squeegees that the other airlines are playing or using. And you know how much the CEO, founder of Southwest makes? He makes $750,000 a year. The others are making 5, 10, 15 million, presiding over their crumbling airlines. Executive pay is very important because when they can control their pay with a rubber stamp board of directors, with stock options, suddenly a perverse incentive that pits them against their own company and workers sets in because they want to inflate the profits, lay off the debt, they want to do funny money accounting so they get higher stock option value. And that's how the WorldCom got in trouble, that's how Enron got in trouble, and so on. Let me just conclude on this note. If you look at our website, votenader.org, you'll see all the subject matter that is on our table. Nader guns off the table for both Obama and McCain. Ask yourself, why is it that we can't get on the presidential debates? Because they control the debate commission. Ask yourself why the voters always seem to want to vote for winners and they keep losing voters. Ask yourself why people don't begin thinking more for themselves as to what their votes should mean, because these issues just reflect majority support. We are supported by majority of the people in terms of the issue. You think people in this country don't want an aggressive crackdown on corporate crime, fraud, and abuse? And McCain and Obama have nothing on their website that deals with that, with any specific figures. How about a living wage? The minimum wage in 1968, if adjusted for inflation, would be $10 an hour. The federal minimum wage just went up to $6.55 an hour. It's a little higher in California, the state law. However, just think the economy has doubled in productivity per worker, and the minimum wage is very significantly less than it was in 1968. You have 1 out of every 3 full-time workers in this country making $10.50, $9.50, $8.50, $7.50, $6.55 an hour before deductions. It's 1 out of every 3 full-time workers. In Western Europe, out of the rubble of World War II, here's what the people demanded and got through their multiple party system and their trade unions, etc. They demanded and got by law for everybody: universal health care, decent pensions, living wage, 4-week paid vacation, paid maternity leave, paid family sick leave, decent daycare, university-free tuition. And we have none of that over 60 years later, by law, for everybody in the United States of America. Now, they paid a little higher tax, but look what they got for it. Look what they got for it. Now, this brings me to my comment of Eugene Debs, because this deals with the expectation level. If they control our expectation levels, they control us. It's only when expectation levels of what the political and governmental and corporate system must deliver that we begin spending more time, because we're agitated. We have higher expectation levels, like the Western Europeans. Here's what Eugene Debs said when he, at the end of his career, around 1920, he was asked by a reporter, "Mr. Debs, what's your greatest regret in your active life?" He said, "My greatest regret, here's my greatest regret. My greatest regret is that under our Constitution, the American people can have almost anything they want. But it just seems like they don't want much of anything at all." Is that telling? And then he said earlier, better to vote for someone you believe in who loses than someone you don't believe in who wins, because that person's going to betray you. And that's what's been happening again and again and again. So help us light the spark to change American politics. Matt Gonzalez, 42 years old. You're going to hear a lot more from him in politics in California. Do you know what it meant for him to join this ticket with all his Democratic friends? It really takes a lot of courage. I hope lot of prominent people in this country, retired generals, admirals, intelligence officials, diplomats, former cabinet secretaries, all of whom have spoken out against the war, the 300-400 of them, before and during the Iraq invasion. And they're not organizing, once they write their op-ed articles or testify, into a powerful bloc. There are a lot of celebrities in our country who know how bad things are. And in the 70s, we worked with them to block nuclear power, for example, and to go after the Vietnam War. We had Bonnie Raitt and Jackson Brown and others who you all remember. And now what we see are people of great sensitivity who are preoccupied with their careers. They're preoccupied with their book contracts, they're preoccupied with their concerts, they're preoccupied with their artistic expression. But there's one person here who wasn't preoccupied. He went to Iraq and he left the tour path of the green zone and he went into the alleys. And this is before the invasion. And he knew what was coming. And he wasn't briefed by the CIA or the NSA. He knew it was coming. And he went more than once. And when he came back, he was hugely ridiculed, pilloried by the retrograde talk show hosts, even editorials and papers who knew better. What was he doing? An interloper. His name is Sean Penn. He's here.